Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Chloe. I make crochet videos and tutorials. So today I'm going to be showing you how I made this adorable crochet bow. Croquet or like croquette has been like super in recently on TikTok. So I just thought that these bows is like perfect for it because with croquet you like put bows on everything. And I just thought this would be super cute. So here I have, essentially it's the same pattern for both bows, except one of them is smaller because of the type of yarn I used, and I only did 3 rows compared to this where I did 5 rows. And we'll get into that more once we start the tutorial, but this is what they look like. They are actually very easy. They take 2 stitches to make, a single crochet and a slip stitch, and everything else is very simple, and it's just the perfect little bow. I also had this idea that you could put the bow like on a hair tie. You could just like attach it with maybe glue or something, or maybe wrap some yarn around the hair tie and then you can use it as like a bowed hair tie. Or you could turn it into a little keychain and you can put that, in your bag, backpack. But yeah, I just thought this was super like universal. And yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead, grab my materials, and then we can get started. So obviously we're using scissors. I mean, you gotta cut your yarn somehow. I do have a needle here just to sew in some loose ends, but other than that, there's not much sewing involved. I have a 4.5 millimeter hook, but depending on what size yarn you use, you can size up or down. You can also just size up or down depending on how on how tight you like your stitches. This is a medium weight yarn, relatively thin, not a chunky yarn. And I'm just going to be using this. This is a really good scrap yarn project. If you want to make the smaller bow, it's perfect to use up scrap yarn. Grab your hook and we're going to get started. To begin, we're going to grab our yarn and we're going to grab our hook. Sorry if the yarn ball moves around a little bit. And I'm going to make a loop around my hook so we can begin to chain. And now to make the length of our bow, I'm going to chain 55. Okay. Once you have your chain of 55, you're going to go ahead, chain one more. And now we can start with the repeat that we'll be doing for as many rows as you want. So with this repeat, you can make this row as many times as you want to make your bow as thick or as small as you want. So we're going to start by doing 6 single crochet. So we're going to skip that extra chain we just made and we're going to go into the first stitch and we're going to make 1 single crochet. And now we're going to do 5 more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now that we have 6 single crochet, we're now going to do 6 slip stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we have 6 single crochet, 6 slip stitches, and now we're going to continue with 12 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. We're going to follow that 12 single crochet by making another 6 slip stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're going to do another 12 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to do our last 6 slip stitches of this round or row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we should have 6 chains left, and we're going to make 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is what our row should look like. So you can kind of see how it goes out on the end, starts to get thinner, goes out again, thinner, out again, thinner, and then out. So if you wanted to leave it like this, you totally can. And to make it into the ribbon, you're just going to fold it on top of each other where it gets thinner. Kind of like so. Now, I don't necessarily like the look of the thin bow, so I'm going to continue by making 4 more rounds so that it becomes the thickness of this bow. But if you want it to be thin, you can skip to the end of the video and I'll show you how to finish off your bow. So to continue making our bow thicker, or more rounds, or rows, I'm going to chain 1, turn my work, and essentially we're going to keep repeating that same pattern we just did. So starting off with 6 single crochets, now 6 slip stitches, probably, this is an important thing that I probably should have brought up earlier, but during this entire time, I'm going through both loops of the stitch when I'm going to do the single crochets and slip stitches. So now I'm going to do another 12 single crochet. Another 6 slip stitches. Twelve single crochet. 6 more slip stitches. And finish the row off with 6 single crochet. I'm going to go ahead, chain 1, and continue this pattern for 2 more rounds. So I'm going to go back and back, and then I will have the thickness of my bow I want. You can continue to make the bow thicker or leave it as is and have the thin bow, but as soon as I have the thickness, or you have the thickness you want of your bow, where I'm going to come back and show you how to finish off your bow and tie it all together. All right, once you have your desired amount of rows, this is what it should sort of look like. I did go ahead and chain 1, but if you haven't already, go ahead, chain 1, and then leave like a little bit of a tail. You don't really need too much, just enough to like sew in your ends. You can cut off, pull through, and now we can go ahead and fold this up right after we sew in our ends. So this is where I grab my needle. And, I mean, you just kind of go into your project and sew in the ends so that they're not visible. Doesn't really matter too much where you do it or how you do it, just as long as you do it. If you want your bow to look clean. All right, so I have my ends sewn in, and now I'm going to show you how to fold your bow up. So essentially, I just kind of like to pull this little like skinny piece into the center skinny piece. So I fold it inwards like that. You can hold your finger down, and then you're going to take the other side and do that again. Just like that. And that's your bow shape. Now to keep it secure, you're gonna grab your yarn. Maybe just cut like a meter off. You don't really need too much. I'm not even measuring it out. But I'm going to start by putting the piece in the back of where you want to start wrapping it. Make sure it's all lined up the way you want it. And once you got that, you're just going to start tightly going and wrapping it. And then after, you can also, adjust it to your liking, but it's going to be a little bit harder to do that since you already started to like keep it in shape in place. Once you have it to your desired like tightness and everything, your pieces should both be peeking out to you in the back of the bow. And what I am gonna do is I'm just gonna tie a knot, pull that super tight, and then I'm gonna do one more so it's a double knot. And then what I like to do just for extra security is I'm going to take my ends and my sewing needle, and I'm just going to sew in the ends into the bow, just like we did for the ends before. Yeah, I have all of my ends sewn in. I'm still adjusting it just a little bit to, my desired way I want it to look, but I think it turned out so cute. But yeah, this is how I made the bow. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and you guys make your own bows, but they're so cute. I hope it was relatively easy to make. If you have any questions, please comment them down below, and I'll try to help out as much as I can. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my next video or tutorial. Bye!